Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. In my last video, I created this card from some leftover round toppers from a magazine, and I also created this card but off camera afterwards, just with one of the baubles here. And I think I mentioned in my last video, I think I showed you this actually, that I would like to create a similar card but from an old Christmas card. I kept quite a few Christmas cards that I liked and that I thought were worth reusing. And I would like to do a little series as well about recycling old Christmas cards. Some designs lend themselves to reusing them, some don't. Some of the quality sometimes is not that good, but this is a lovely card. It's got some linen texture as well. So I thought I'd just talk you through what my ideas for this card are. I have chosen a few circle dies, nesting dies from my set. These are really smallish ones, and I already had a play and had a little look what size would be good for which element of this card. If you wanted to, if you've got a similar design, you could just choose one or two big designs. But I thought for this card, just to have it a little bit different from the other one, I think I'm going to cut smaller ones. Having said that, I only just realized if I cut it like this, I'm cutting off that doggo. I'll have a think about this. I definitely thought the house and the post box would be nice. I might have to go a little bit bigger anyway, but this circle, for example, would be perfect here for the playing children. I might actually find a bigger one for this and maybe a bigger one for that. I don't want to vary the sizes too much because I think it would look a little bit higgledy-piggledy. If I have four of these baubles though, I need to have a look whether I will go then for a DL card, because I noticed in my last card when I designed this one, I had planned to have 4 baubles, but that would have been too much. So I'll have a little think. One thing I have already chosen is a bit of a background paper. I said that I think in the last video, if you've got a subtle background like an ink smooshed background, that would be lovely. But I found this one here, that's from the paper pack I've shown you before. This has got some glitter on it, and I think because it's got houses as well, I think that might work as a background, but I won't know that until I've actually cut these out. Or if that doesn't work, I might cut some circles from this as well, because some baubles, because I think that would look okay as well. So I just want to show you this. I thought the background would work, and I quite like the colours together, but it is too busy. I think it would be better for me to find a background that is a little bit more solid. I do like the sort of taupe colour in the background, but the images unfortunately don't really work together. So I couldn't find a suitable background, so I'm going to create my own. But I'm not going to ink smoosh. This will take too long to dry, although you can set it with a heat tool, but I don't want my cardstock to warp. So I have cut myself a DL card, which is the full length of the A4 sheet, so 8 1/4, and it's 4 inches wide. So I cut it at 8 inches and halved it. And I've just popped a little bit of scrap paper in between because I want to work directly on the front. And I thought, because I've got some hills here in the background, I could just create a little bit of colour, a few hills with my new acetate hill masks. Well, they're new to me, they're not new to Lavinia. In the past, you've seen me just use paper. You can just cut paper or tear paper if you want to. You don't need these, but I treated myself to these. So you've got 4 different ones. You've got some proper mountains here, but I won't use those. So I just thought I'd just use the flatter hills for the front and then the slightly steeper one for the back. And all I've taken out is my polar blue, what's it called, from Spectrum Noir. It is Harmony. I don't think they do these anymore, but it's just a very light blue that I want to use. So I will place this actually on the top here. It's just got the width here. So, and all I really want to do is just some very subtle colour. So I'm really just touching this. I want to have a lot of white still in the background. So sorry for casting a shadow there. I'd hoped I could film this all still in daylight, but it's just going. So I'm trying not to catch too much on the edge there. So that's all I want for that one, and it looks like I haven't got much, but when I take it off you can see the difference. So I could give that a quick wipe, but just use my finger and pop it on a little bit higher, but I just turned it round so I'm getting a different hill, and I'm also putting it a bit at an angle, and again I'm just going along the edge here. That's really all I want. Bit of colour to set it off so it's not a stark white. I could have done a little bit more there, but it doesn't matter. So, and then I'm using this one here. Again, I can turn it this way around. Just actually coming in from the side. Hopefully you can see a little bit better than if I stand on the side here. So I'm doing one more, again wiping this off so that I can turn it round, and I'm going along the top there. If you wanted to, you could use a stencil brush rather than a blending brush. So well, this is all I want. It's very subtle. I don't even know if the camera picks it up. I want a little bit more colour here. I'm not too bothered, but I could put my heel mask back there if I can find where I had it. Just a little bit more. That'll do me. So as I said, I just wanted a hint of colour. So now I can arrange these. Let me actually take this off. I don't need that anymore. So with the other card, I went round the edges with my finger dauber, but I think because I've got this stitched die here, I don't know if the camera picks that up, I don't think I need this. I think, although these look a bit flat, I think, you know, you get the idea of them being baubles. So I'm wondering whether I want to arrange them the same as they were on the card. Although this is very, very similar. Maybe this one a bit lower and this one on the top. Just checking whether I like this movement. It would leave me enough space here for sentiment. Yeah, I think I do that. So I'm contemplating whether I want some dimension to these. I could put some on foam pads, but because this time I would just like to draw the little bit on the top, I think I'll leave them as flat as they are now. So I'm just using my magic glue, and I'm just going to stick these down. I just quickly do this off camera. For the hanging element here, I'm not even sure what it's called. I would call it a crown, but I don't know. I'm using my Black Widow pencil. Reason being is this sort of pastel colours. It's sort of a, you know, a look like it's been drawn with, well, either a pencil or could even be acrylic paints. But I don't want the look of acrylic markers, or I could go in with glitter pens. I don't really want that look. So I've just chosen a blue. I've just swatched it there, which goes nicely with the background. And as before with the other card, I will do this whilst it's sitting like this, because otherwise I might just mark the middle there. I won't get these in the centre, because once I turn the card I'll get a wonky eye. So I'm just marking where the middle is, and then I can turn this around and just draw a little rectangle on the top. I try to get as close to the bauble as I can and just put it on the top like this. Let me just zoom in a little bit more, and then I can also attach like a half circle there where it would sit. It's only supposed to be really hand drawn. I'm not pretending that this is, you know, like stamped or so. If you wanted to, obviously, if you had a stamp, you could stamp that in before you stick these down. This one looks a bit wonky now, but the focus is really on the images. So I think I'm happy with that. So I will quickly find a pen to draw the twine. I'm not sure yet whether I want black, because I don't have a lot of black in the images, but I'll have a quick think and have a quick look what I've got in my stash. I've decided I will use my black fine liner pen after all. I've been trying to find this online. I don't know where I bought it, but it's really fine, so that's very useful. So I'm still contemplating though whether I want to just draw it by hand or whether I want to use my ruler. I think because it's a drawn image, I should just go for it and draw these by hand. Oh, hope this is focusing. But I will still do this sideways. So I'm just pulling it a little bit closer to me. Problem is with these fine liner pens, if you don't have them at the right angle, they're difficult and they just don't always work. So best is to take your time to draw the line. So once I've done that, I just want to add little bows on the top. Yeah, I think that looks nice. So all I need to do now is find a sentiment stamp that I place here at the bottom. I've got an idea where I will look for that, and I think I would quickly stamp it off camera, potentially in my stamping platform, but I don't know yet. I might just brave it, and then I'll just show you the finished card. So I've stamped this sentiment here. That's from the go-to Christmas words from Visible Image. They are my favourite font. I also like to use the other go-to words like the happy birthday ones, and I just stamped it this time in the blue bell rather than doing it in black. And yeah, I think this is really nice and a good use of my old Christmas cards. So I think I will make a few more of these, but I will also have a think what other designs I can create with my leftover Christmas cards, and I will show you more very soon.